Yeah.
You want to like him, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here.
Straight
man.
gangsters.
Ah.
Yeah.
After some minor technical difficulties, we proceed with the show already in progress.
Thing. Loudbeard, where you at? I need your help. Good thing none of this is recording right now, because Loudbeard handles the recording side of it as well. Much better at the tell you all my problems on the Battle Inside podcast. That I can do. You want to hear some life stories? Pretty good at explaining those. All on my lonesome, all by myself. All by myself. It's good to be. And then I was gonna make fun of the city name Arkadelphia, because that was trending, but they're having flooding, so can't do that. Thoughts and prayers are with those in Arkadelphia. And Obama's taking Loudbeard's taking a little bit more than the 2 minutes. All right, here's another trending Twitter thing. As we all struggle with this with me. Appreciate everybody listening. Nobody's tweeting at me yet. Somebody become one of my Twitter hosts so I can bounce ideas off of you. Okay? And we can bounce ideas off of each other. I need a Twitter co-host right now. Let's see. Things I'll never do. Boil bacon. Who the hell is boiling bacon? Is that a thing? Please tell me that's not a thing. If it is, then I should have picked it in my food draft since, because you don't boil bacon. The only time I guess I've ever really boiled bacon is when I've made canned green beans, which I don't do anymore. So those of you who think canned green beans is a sin, I don't do that anymore, but I used to throw some bacon in that. And I guess it would kind of boil. Let's see. Get up early and turn down coffee. Go to a Nickelback concert. Now, that is something Loudbeard would do.
No.
It sounds like he's
would
on the mic.
would never go on to a Nickelback concert.
Yeah, he would definitely go to a Nickelback concert.
Never.
And if only he would get on the air, then we could hear him.
You can go to your Nickelback concert.
Willingly talk on the phone. That is kind of me, Loudbeard. I don't like talking on the phone anymore. I've gotten so used to texting that I become socially awkward at talking on the actual cell phone.
Yeah, that's a fact right there,
Like
because
our
we're
old
in a
co-host-
world now.
Our old co-host likes to call me, and I'm like, dude, just text me. I can't talk.
Yeah, that's kind of how it happens. Yeah, you were going through the house buying process with him because he is a realtor, and I'm going through the house selling process with him, and a lot of phone conversations that happens with that, and and
a lot of it's like you could have just been like texted, because a lot of it is just like a lot of fluff. Like he just likes to just talk about randomness, and then he'll say the like 3 things he needs to tell you about the houses, and I'm like, dude, you could have just texted me that.
It's funny because it's true. I feel like I'm the exact same way with the phone conversations. It's just awkward. But I will say with him, I guess because I was on the microphone with him for so long, I'm like, let me just pick up the phone and call him. So I got that connection there. But typically I'm with you on that. Like you awkwardly can't talk as well as you used to because you're like, texting's so much easier. There's no social awkwardness with texting.
You know what it is for me, though? It's because I got other things I'm doing at the same time, and then I can't focus on both. Like, if I'm at home, I'm watching TV, I don't mind texting you during my TV time, but if you call me, now I got to split and divide my attention.
Yeah, this is true. We've got some tweets coming in here. Hot. Jenny says there are still people out there boiling hot dogs.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me say that there's people boiling bacon.
Yeah, well, I did. I caught that part. I don't think I've ever boiled bacon or even thought that was a thing.
No, me neither. I've boiled hot dogs before, and that's only when I'm in a rush, especially if I'm cooking hot dogs for the kids because they're not eating whatever I'm eating, It's you know what? I'm just gonna throw the hot dogs in the water, and once they start boiling, I'll pull them out and put them on their bun and roll with my day. That's like the lazy man's way of cooking hot dogs is boiling them.
Yeah, it is. And Scott Kaiser, he has one thing to say to you, and he says it in a GIF. He says,
Yep.
Kill them all.
Well, he
Does
can come
that,
kill
does that
my
include
lazy.
you, though? Because you're a hot
I
dog
don't know.
boiler.
He did say kill them all. He said kill them all.
Mm.
I'm just a lazy hot dog boiler. I'm not. That's
Kill
not my
'em all,
go-to.
let God sort them out.
Yeah, kill them all and let God sort them out. Ladbird, I do have exciting news. Are you recording?
I am now.
Okay.
Now, as soon as I jumped on, I started recording. So,
Okay, good.
the first 10 minutes where you were by yourself, I left you hanging because,
Like I said, it was
I
good.
hit stop instead of snooze on my alarm on my phone.
Yeah, I mentioned that it
not-
was good that happened, that you weren't recording because it is god awful radio. I'm glad
good.
that. Hopefully, it was only Jenny and Scott Kaiser that were listening.
I don't know.
So
there was a few more on there. I saw the numbers, but they all jumped off as soon as they heard you just talking,
They heard me. Yeah,
wandering
I
aimlessly.
scared them off. So Loudbeard, big time news for you today.
Yes.
Big time music news. I know you're really excited to go to the Iggy Azalea concert when she comes to Florida. Yes.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
super excited about it.
Sure.
And, so she tweeted out last night. So if you come to my show, you're going to notice a giant yellow circle on the floor in the middle of the general admissions that says Twerk Pit. When it's about that time at the show, y'all got to clear off the circle unless you about to show us something crazy. Loudbeard, they have a twerk pit at Iggy Azalea concerts now. Are you pumped up to hear this news?
I really don't know how to react to that news. It's hitting me.
Yeah.
Is that necessary to draw a big yellow circle, or
I mean,
she could just go
yes.
out there and say, "All right, everybody start twerking," and they would just start twerking anyway?
No, it's got to be a twerk circle
Twerk.
or a twerk pit.
Yeah.
Rather
When I
than a
was a
mosh
kid-
pit, it's a twerk pit.
When I was a kid, the mosh pit was very popular. We'd go to the little punk rock shows and stuff, and kids would be moshing, and it'd be a lot of fun. But nowadays, these kids, they get into trouble. They get into these twerk pits. I don't know what I think about this, Chris America. I feel like I'm going to be the old man on the lawn saying, these kids these days, they don't know how to enjoy real fun. They get Iggy Azalea in her twerk pit. It's not necessary. It's not fun.
So you have teenage daughters. Do you go around? Would you be at this concert and be like, how did her parents let her leave wearing that?
Absolutely. I would be one of those dads. No, I
and
really
now
don't
she's
care.
twerking? She's
Yeah.
twerking in that dress?
I'm probably one of the most chill dads, though. I'm like, whatever. Just don't get into any real trouble. It's all good.
You're like,
Just
you
be
can't wear
honest with
hooker
me.
heels because it's raining and it's just absolutely difficult
Yeah.
to walk in.
You could break your ankle, and I don't want to take you to the emergency room. That would ruin my evening. I'm selfish like that. Well, so when you go to the Iggy Azalea concert, you're going to have to tell me all about this twerk pit.
You're the one with the tickets, man, not me.
Oh, I do not have tickets. Not to that show.
That's what your
No,
real phone
sirree.
calls were about between you and Anthony Mack, is how y'all are going to go to the Iggy Azalea concert together and hit up that twerk pit.
Yeah, this is not happening. Not happening at all. My wife's going to the Jennifer Lopez concert. That's coming up here soon in the Central Florida area. I don't think that one will have a twerk pit, though.
We should.
Maybe she'll bring it. Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block always brings it.
Yeah. Now, not to steer away from Iggy Azalea, because I love her and all, and twerk pits are definitely cool to talk about. But I see that Jenny retweeted this out, and it was all over my Facebook timeline yesterday. And I just wanted to see, I don't know, you may have already spoken about this, but the meth alligators, this is becoming hot news right now. And it's not just local news, it's everywhere. The world is getting concerned about meth gators. Have you talked about this story yet, Chris America?
No, not yet.
All right, saving it for the end. It was the grand finale, and I just ruined it for you. Should have kept it with the Husker do's and the Husker don'ts. But so police in Tennessee are warning people, and I think this is a fair warning because we don't want this to happen. But they're warning people that if they continue to flush their drugs down the toilet, specifically meth, let's say police come in and these druggies are like, yeah, let me get rid of the meth so that the police don't see it. We're creating what we would call the Meth Gator. And the Meth Gator is not somebody that we want to be messing with. So police are warning everybody to please stop flushing their meth down the toilet because we're creating a Meth Gator, and this is a super gator that we don't want anything to really have to deal with. Yeah, Chris America, can you believe that this is a story? And this isn't pulled off of some jokey website. This is on like CNN and local news stations. This is like a legit story, my friend.
Well, see, here's the thing. The other night I was at that Monsters arcade playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time, and you fight a Meth Gator in that game. His name is Leatherhead, and the Tennessee officials just know all about their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They know about how he appeared in Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 2 comic book issues. And, Leatherhead, serious bad guy in Ninja Turtles. I don't know if the Ninja Turtles live in Tennessee. They live in New York City, Loudbeard. So who's going to come save Tennessee when there is a giant alligator? Plus, the Tennessee Volunteers have only beaten the Florida Gators 10 times since Eisenhower was president. So I don't think they need to be facing Meth Gators either. They would probably lose to a Meth Gator since they can't even beat the Florida Gators.
Calling them Meth Gators, does that hit a little too close to home to your college football team?
No, because we don't really get in trouble for meth. Now, shooting guns in the air and, that kind of stuff, that's more our thing. But, yeah, meth heads,
battery.
Yeah, meth. I think meth is more of like a Florida State thing. It seems like more like a Tallahassee thing. When I think meth, I think of the deep swamps of Tallahassee.
Okay. Yeah, they call their stadium the Swamp now in Tallahassee for all the Meth Gators they have.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Let's see. But yeah, in Tennessee, apparently there is a place called Shoal Creek. This is where a lot of the...
Why is that not named Skull Creek? It's beyond me. Joe Dirt of me is wondering why it's not called Skull Creek.
Yep. Nope, it's Shoal Creek, and then if you flush your drugs and they get far enough down, apparently that is the creek where the gators hang out, and they get into the meth. And the gators have had enough trouble with methed up animals in the past few weeks. They don't need any more help with gators getting methed up also.
That's so methed up.
That is so methed up. I don't understand how this is happening right now. How is this a story? I don't get it.
How is this not a Florida story, though? When you said methed up gators, I was like, oh, boy, here we go. Florida man's at it again. And this is a Tennessee story. I didn't even know gators lived in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I guess they're more like Western Tennessee. Over there by Memphis, I guess, is kind of close to the bayou. I don't know. I've never really been to Western Tennessee. I always go to the Smoky Mountains. We've only been on the mountainside. There are no gators up in those mountains.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, this whole story's just gotten me all weirded out here. Meth gators, and I don't understand what the warning part is here. So a representative from the police department up there in Tennessee says, now our sewer guys take great pride in releasing water that is cleaner than what is in the creek. But they are not really prepared for meth. Ducks, geese, and other fowl frequent our treatment ponds, and we shudder to think what one all hopped up on meth would do. Okay, so did this not happen? They're just worried it's going to happen, and they've decided to make a release? I mean, until you get a methed up gator or methed up duck or geese, why are you creating such a crazy warning out to the public? I don't know. This is more of a Florida man story that Tennessee's trying to steal our thunder. This is what's happening here. Don't you agree?
I think so. You think like just hey, don't pollute our waters with meth should be more than enough reason to not pollute waters. Like any waterway filled with meth is a bad thing. Nope, we gotta watch out for them gators.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's because they can't beat Florida gators. They're afraid of methed up gators.
Oh, here we go. So Scott Kaiser tweeting in. Oh, we got a couple tweets coming in here. I'm not even paying attention that closely, and it's just starting to get hot. Scott, David Green, Jenny, everybody's tweeting in. Let's see. David Green says, the man to save Tennessee, and it has got a interesting-looking guy wearing a Spider-Man costume.
No,
He
that's
looks like he might be methed up.
that's the Peter Parker from Into the Spider-Verse, the one that's out of shape and brokenhearted, and
This one
the main-
this one looks a little bit more out of shape than the one you were. Yep. But yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
Maybe
We'll
that's
go with
been
that.
him since he went back.
Yep. I know all about Leatherhead, Scott Kaiser says. The Cajun accent was fantastic. I guarantee.
Yep,
Is that good? Was that close?
that was great. Yeah,
Okay, there we go. So,
you can't consider yourself a Ninja Turtle fan if you can't land that.
yeah, that's a good point. I am a big Ninja Turtle fan. I have a Ninja Turtle subject I want to bring up here, too. But I'm going to read the last tweet we have coming in. At Scout Team Radio, if the Gators can be in Chicago, you can't tell them they won't be in the Smoky Mountains. Okay. Those Gators. Got them. So, Ninja Turtles. I feel like we may have talked about this on the show, but I feel like I'm really missing something. Now that the phase, 3 or 4 or whatever Marvel was in is over and Endgame's over, I feel like I'm missing some action. And they keep talking about, what's going to be on the next phase. And I'm sure Marvel's going to do a great job. But I could really use something different. And I know Michael Bay rebooted that Ninja Turtle series, and it just, to me, it fell flat. I would like Marvel to buy, or Disney to buy, the ownership of Ninja Turtles and give it a really good arc. Give it a good series, because they have some of the best villains that around, and not just Shredder, because everybody knows Shredder. You get tired of Shredder. It's like the Joker with Batman. You need to see some of these other villains. But guys like Leatherhead and the Rat King and Baxter Stockman, and they just have this plethora of amazing villains. If somebody could put the Turtles on a movie and do it correctly, and do a let's say a trilogy, or a 4 or 5 movie series, I'm telling you, if it's done right, it could be some of the best video cinematography we have ever seen, Chris America.
Yeah, what's crazy about the Ninja Turtles is they started off as a comic book, not by DC, not by Marvel, but by Mirage Studios, and they didn't start off in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. They started off when I thought comic books was kind of dying out, which was the mid 80s, and they took off better than any comic book series during that time period. That was the thing when we were growing up. When you think about how fast, it got started in 1984, and then it was by the time we were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, Loudbeard, it was already blown up.
Oh, absolutely. So there's a definite fan base out there that would go and watch this. And I think with these other movies, as soon as we heard Michael Bay was doing it, it's and then they mutated how the Turtles looked. They gave them a flat face, and it was just weird. And I think that was a turnoff as it was. And yeah, the movies in the 90s, those were fun, but it's time to reboot. That's what we do. We reboot. And with CGI now, and I don't know, I feel like there's so much that can be tapped into this Ninja Turtle market, and somebody out there is missing the boat.
Is Michael Bay the Nickelback of directors and movie producers?
He's at least the Creed. People
So
like
everybody
Creed.
complains about Michael Bay, yet he still makes tons of movies and tons of money.
Yeah, I would give him Creed. People love Creed still. I don't, but there are a lot of
But people
out
love to
there.
hate on Creed too.
Right, but that's Michael Bay.
Yeah. I've never met a true Michael Bay fan. Where you said, "Oh, Michael Bay is making a movie," and somebody said, "Yes, yes, Michael Bay does it right."
I don't know, man. Michael Bay. Now he did Bad Boys, right? Wasn't that Michael Bay?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But
I
Scott
feel like that
Kaiser
was one of his
apparently.
last. Mm-hmm. I'm reading
Scott
this tweet
Kaiser-
too. Go ahead.
Yeah, Scott Kaiser apparently learning that you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan also, which I'm surprised you two haven't connected on this. But he said, dude, Loudbeard, you should wake up late and get to the show whenever, every day. If you're going to bring this hot fire like that, I'm all about that TMNT. Let's do this. Hashtag TMNT for life.
Oh, we need this to happen. It's just I feel like we've missed the mark, and like I said, the Michael Bay, that was a disaster. Now, we talked about this on the show, and a lot of people may disagree with me, but when the first Transformers came out, and that's a Michael Bay movie, I thought that was cutting edge. It was great at the time. It hasn't held up over time, especially since they've done like 5 movies since then that each one like got worse and worse and worse. But that first Transformers movie, I was pleasantly surprised because there was so much action and explosions and the each robot transforming. It was a really cool movie. But then, of course, he goes over the top and just tries to keep topping it, and it fell flat. There's a lot of bad Michael Bay out there, but there's some okay Michael Bay out there. Like I said, very Creed-ish.
Yeah. That's a solid pick.
Yeah. We can go with that.
So I was thinking if we were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Anthony Mack would be Raphael, right? Always in a bad mood, thinks he's cooler than he really is. I always hated
definitely.
Raphael. Not to say that I hate Anthony Mack, but I always hated Raphael. He was annoying.
He created he creates all the problems, right? Like
does.
Anytime there's a storyline, it's always like, oh, Raphael, he's over there, he's brooding, he
loner
ran
thing.
away.
Yeah.
Now we're fighting some big bad guy, and with 3 of us, we can't defeat him. We need our 4th, but Raphael's over there pouting in the corner. Raphael. And the size, I thought they were dumb.
What are you gonna do with forks?
Yeah, poor Raphael.
I always hated when I played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the video games, and I got stuck with Raphael. I was like, damn it. I don't want to fight people with size.
Yeah, the size are bad. And all the other ones are cool. You got the katana blade, so Leo, he's the leader, and he's got the coolest one.
You get the bow staff.
Oh, yeah, the bow staff. Yep. And then the nunchucks. Of course, Michelangelo, he was always my favorite because he's a party dude. If they I like the party dude.
If they did remake a new movie and Raphael didn't have the size, they gave him something cooler, would you be upset or would you be like, all right, let's roll with this?
Yeah. I'd be a little upset. It's all about, it's got to have the classic feel.
Don't be the old man baseball fan. Sometimes change is needed. Sometimes change is good.
Yeah, like I was the guy that was upset that Hawkeye wasn't wearing some ridiculous purple mask and purple spandex in Avengers.
Yeah. I'm sure you were upset that Aquaman wasn't wearing his orange shirt and green pants looking like a blonde doofus.
Yeah, talking to a little fish.
Yep.
Hey, guy, how you doing today? It's me, Aquaman.
How DC comic ever became popular is beyond me outside of Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, God, DC's awful.
Oh,
DC.
Man,
what?
Come on, man. Wonder Woman. Everybody loves Wonder Woman. She's up there. And The Flash. I like The Flash. The Flash to me is a well-executed, fast. I don't know. So I'll give you those. Now, Green Lantern, that one gets a little hoaxy from time to time.
Oh, we pissed off Scott Kaiser with our Raphael take. He's apparently a big-time Raphael fan.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Scotty. Appreciate you supporting us for our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle talk.
So that's the real story behind his vacation, quote unquote. He wasn't on vacation. He was brooding like Raphael. Had to go it alone. Had to go take care of business by himself, and then ends up getting kidnapped with April.
All right. Well, Chris America, it's almost time for a commercial. I was going to tell you a secret I have about Raphael and April, something that happened behind the scenes that not too many fans know about. But you're going to have to wait till after a quick commercial break.
Loudbeard just got here. Now he wants a break.
Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter. If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here from the Captain Lou Extravaganza, coming to you live every Tuesday night on 12ouncesportsradio.com from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, it's a different name, but it's still the same great show. We're going to have guests every week live on the show, and we'll have your opinions as well as mine, and we'll see whose is better and obviously whose is right. That's every Tuesday night live, the Captain Lou Extravaganza from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern Time on 12ouncesportsradio.com.
Hey, what's up there, listeners? This is your friendly neighborhood Loudbeard, and I'm here to tell you that there's two type of people in the world, those that are on a podcast and those that want to be on a podcast. And if you are one of those out there that want to be on a podcast, one of the first decisions you will need to make is which podcast host you want to use. That's right. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, you need to check out Podbean. Here at Scout Team Radio, we have been using Podbean since the very beginning, and we absolutely love it. They are easy to use, and they have affordable options. Just go to podbean.com/STR. That's right, Scout Team Radio. Podbean.com/STR to get started today. What are you waiting for? Welcome back. Thank you all for listening in. Once again, we are Scout Team Radio. He is Chris America. I am Loudbeard. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. We also simulcast on the Full Press Radio Network, and we are a part of the Barn Burner Podcast Network. Speaking of podcasts, if you can't catch the show live, you can always go back and listen to the recorded episodes. You can go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can find a podcast, Barn Burner Podcast Network, anywhere you can find a podcast, and just search Scout Team Radio. You can catch every morning show live. You can catch it on the podcast, recorded live. You know, not live. That's what I meant. Also, get social. We love to have some Twitter co-hosts on our show. This morning, we have Jenny of Ohio. We have Scott Kaiser. We have David Green. We have all of our good friends, our listeners coming in hot this morning with some hot takes. If you want to tweet in at the show, hit us up at Scout Team Radio. We will read your tweets on the air. We will take your hot takes, and we will discuss them and all of that. So, Chris America, I have a confession.
These are my confessions. Good.
I lied.
Yeah?
I lied to our audience. I lied to our listeners, and I lied to you.
Yeah?
I don't have any juicy gossip about Raphael and April O'Neil.
Oh, you should have just done what we always do, which is just totally forget to bring back the tease. Like, we'll tease something, and then we'll just never bring it up again.
Yeah, 50% of the time, it works every time.
Remember when I wanted, like, our sign-off?
60% of the time, it works every time.
That's our tease right there.
Remember when we would, I tried to make our sign-off when we just did the weekly show to be a tease that was totally ridiculous and we'd never talk about again?
Yeah. It never quite, like, because it was so long in between. Like, we could probably do that now, and it would make.
But I couldn't come up
sense.
with them one. I couldn't come up with one every day though.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, I guess I could if I like rode them out on the weekend, playing them out.
Yeah. So Chris America, how much sports have you talked about?
I talked about the SEC Media Days and Big 12 Media Days. I talked about April 1st is the first preseason football game, so that's right around the corner. Denver versus Atlanta.
All right. There you go.
It's a
You get down to
Thursday
big
night
stuff.
game. Mm-hmm. Are you excited for football season?
I am. This is the problem. It feels like it's such a long time in between. You kind of get lulled into it. Like, I'm ready for
Loudbeard-
football, but it's just not. It's been so long. I forgot how much I loved football.
Ludwig, I got to apologize. I kicked the show off with some good news, and I did have some bad news for you. And I didn't even ask you if you want the good news or the bad news first. So now I guess you have to take the bad news second.
Okay, go ahead.
Guy Fieri has given the Washington Redskins a kiss of death.
Okay, what did he do this time?
He's going to be selling his Guy chicken tenders at Redskins games.
This could only be a good thing, Chris America. You're looking
You
at
think
it.
so?
Yes. Guy Fieri, the chicken tenders are going to be delicious. We know Guy knows food. He loves food.
Guy
He's going to make the
Fieri's
chicken tenders
Chicken Guy
delicious.
chicken tenders. He's bringing
I love
Flavortown.
it.
He's bringing Flavortown to FedEx Field.
Woo! That's what FedEx Field needs.
So this is good news for you then.
Yeah, this is great news.
Because Guy Fieri is the Nickelback of Food Network.
If we can't field a decent football team, then we might as well field a decent chicken tender. And I think that, to me, is just as important as fielding a good football team. Now, I'm being pessimistic, Chris America, but deep down inside, I keep thinking to myself, okay, we're going to be better than I think we are. We're actually going to be pretty good this year, but you never know. We're going to sneak up on some people this year. So
That's
deep
the way
down
to do it.
inside, yes.
That's the way to do it. That's
Yeah.
If you're a true football fan, that's how you feel about your team.
Yep, I'm going to be self-deprecating, not self-defecating, as there were comments on the Craft Brewed Sports page this weekend about self-defecating, which I think the author meant self-deprecating, but that's another story altogether.
That group is
about my
crazy.
team. Did you see that comment by the chance?
No.
So
There was
Scott
some
Kaiser's
drama.
Scott Kaiser's part of the Craft Brewed
Then I
Sports.
was like-
a lot of our listeners know.
Yeah.
And they do a closed group on Facebook, and it's kind of the wild, wild west of Facebook groups. A lot of crazy memes and a lot of crazy jokes, and sometimes it borderline gets offensive. And this weekend there was some drama, and they got jumped in and they did the right thing and did that. But one of the guys on one of the threads, he was like, "Oh yeah, well some people don't take my humor very well. A lot of it's self-defecating."
Hooch is crazy.
But I couldn't tell if he was serious or not. Like, did he accidentally say the wrong word, or was he doing it to be funny? Like, I couldn't tell. But he
Yeah.
probably self-defecated anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sad
Memphis
state
Spence
of
coming
affairs.
in. Guy chicken
Oh, I
tenders.
didn't mention him.
Yeah, Guy chicken tenders sounds a little weak. Well, it's actually called Guy Fieri's Chicken Guy chicken tenders. Or so they called Chicken Guy chicken tenders.
Does that make it better? I would like your chicken guy chicken tenders. Like, come on, chicken guy. Give me a
Trying
chicken
to see if
tender.
there's like an official name, and they just say chicken tenders in the story. It says Guy Fieri's bringing Flavortown to FedEx Field, and chicken tenders are his vehicle.
I like it. Flavortown. Come on, Memphis Spence. You don't like Flavortown? You don't want to go down to Flavortown, Memphis Spence?
Now, what is your price limit on chicken tenders? For me, it's definitely $18 because I once went to order chicken tenders at a movie theater once, and that was like $18, and I was like, yeah, not so
They're
much.
probably not that good either, were they?
No.
Oh, that
So
was.
do you think they're going to be around? Do you think they're going to be around $18 at a football stadium, NFL football stadium?
That probably is pretty accurate. $18. That's a lot of money for chicken tenders. Now, I will say I'm going to give Guy props. I've been on a couple Carnival cruise lines, and Carnival has gotten like this Guy Fieri burger little stand that you can go to, and I don't know what it is about just laying out in the sun, drinking all day, and then when lunchtime hits, one of those burgers just hits the spot, man. It's so delicious. Yeah, I get that Guy's not out there making it himself. It's just these people from different countries that are sitting behind there slopping everything together, but man, is it delicious. That Guy burger, it's good, Chris America.
I haven't had it yet. And I know that it's not. I don't know what it's called. Just Chicken Guy chicken tenders, but he's also known as the boss of sauce, and you'll be able to get 22 different sauces on your chicken tenders when you're at FedEx Field. One of them being donkey sauce, Loudbeard.
There we go. Donkey sauce is good.
Now
That's gonna pep it up.
if the players play really well, don't you think they should get in on the sauce game?
Oh yeah, that should be all right. Winners to the sauce table. Losers,
Like, shouldn't there be
you
like
get
shouldn't there be like a
nothing.
Gruden sauce?
Oh, a Jay Gruden sauce. Oh, you mean like just getting them named after him?
Yeah. Like a Haskins sauce?
Oh, I thought you were saying like, okay, if you win, you all get to go to Flavortown with the sauce boss. If you lose, you get potato salad with raisins and marshmallows. You decide which one you would like to have as your prize at the end of this
Yeah,
game.
but if you fumble on the 1 yard line, you get the donkey sauce.
No, donkey sauce is a prize, man.
I
It's
know,
delicious.
but just the name.
Yeah. It could be have a better name, but it just kicks you. The flavor kicks you
Is
like
that
a
what it
donkey
is?
kick.
Kicks you like a
Yeah.
donkey kick?
Like, should it be called Jackass sauce? Would that have been a better name?
No, because you're still the same implication. You're a jackass.
Yeah, you're a donkey.
You donkey.
There we go. But I like what FedEx Field is doing. The problem is Snyder's like a bad owner, and he kind of raised a lot of prices there, and it really killed the experience for a lot of fans. I've got family that lives up in D.C. I've got friends that live up there. A lot of them complain about the experience at FedEx Field nowadays, and I think the owner has really made this hard. So, yeah, he's bringing in some Guy chicken tenders, but you say $18 is the max. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there were like $26 for chicken tenders or something just absurd, because the price for food at these games has gotten to be ridiculous.
Yeah. It's almost to where you can't even afford to go and eat.
Oh, boy. Best tweet of the day so far. Listening up here. So Scott Kaiser coming in. They should definitely have one of those called the Snyder sauce. Tastes like ish, gives you the trots, and refuses to change its flavor despite the masses telling it's racist.
Oh, end the show. End the show. When our Twitter co-hosts are better
it's
than
not
us at
getting
our
any-
own jobs.
It's not getting any better than that.
No, it's not.
That's
Where's-
the one.
Well, let me go find the poop train story. It's going to be the way I'm going to be able to beat is the Alabama poop train story.
Oh.
We replay that.
So we have a Meth Gator story, and it didn't even come close to touching Scott Kaiser's tweet. That's how good this tweet was. I'm just saying. This is how it's been.
We're gonna have to frame that tweet.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's
He should have
we're gonna-
hashtagged HTTR.
Oh, got the whole nation going, huh?
Yeah. Honestly,
coulda
I
got
think Scotty
volatile.
Kaiser, since there's no edit function, you should delete that tweet, copy it first, and then delete it, paste, and then hashtag HTTR that. Let the hail to the Redskins know. I think they'd like it.
Don't give them any ideas. Don't give them any ideas.
I'd love to see HTTR come at Scott Kaiser all day. That'd bring entertainment to my workplace.
That it would. Chris America, can I ask you a basketball question? I know the NBA steers us in different bad directions, but just have
Sure,
a
go
quick
ahead.
question for you.
Yeah.
So, Chris Paul gets traded over to Oklahoma City. He's got some really terrible contract, and it seems like there are very few, if not any, teams that are interested in him. Am I too far off base to say that our Orlando Magic, or, the team that has sucked over the last 7 years, but finally made the playoffs this season. But didn't really add any real pieces in the offseason, just re-signed guys that are already on the team. Am I off base by saying maybe we should take a shot? Yeah, he's a little bit kind of past his prime, but you're bringing in a big name and a guy that could run point better than anybody that's been a point guard on this team over the last 10 years, basically. Would it be such a terrible thing? Because you could almost give up practically nothing. You would just have to take on a big contract. Would it be terrible if our Orlando Magic took Chris Paul? Would it?
Yeah, I think it would. Because we'd have to give up pieces for it. And if it was for Russell Westbrook, I'd say let's do it. But it's not. I'd almost rather sign Carmelo Anthony if that's going to be the case. Because it would cost us less. It would cost us less, and I mean it's just basically the same thing. At least Carmelo Anthony can shoot.
Bad?
No, he's just not an offensive production guy. Like he's a facilitator. He's like an old school point guard. He doesn't produce points. And so we don't have that many good shooters to begin with, so I don't know who he would be facilitating to score us the points.
All right, you're bringing me back down to
anybody can pass down low to our boy Vooch and then let Vooch do his work. We don't need Chris Paul to do that.
Yeah. Well, here's a tweet coming in from David Green. He brings up a good point here. He said, we'd almost have to offload a pick or two to get rid of CP3. And that's the point, is CP3 right now is considered not an asset, but like Oklahoma City may have to send over a first-round draft pick. And what we would do is we would unload.
I would take tanking of Oklahoma City's first-round draft pick. Yeah, for sure. If that came with it, then let's do it.
Yeah,
just so I can get that first-round draft pick. Because OKC, if they offload CP3, that first-round draft pick is going to be a top 5 draft pick.
Yeah, and I think if the Magic did give him up, I saw an article somewhere. I want to say it was like they'd have to throw in Evan Fournier, Mo Bamba, our second-round pick from last season, pull them all together, and we could trade that for CP3, and maybe the Oklahoma City Thunder would have to throw in a draft pick. I would not miss Mo Bamba and Evan Fournier. Even though Mo Bamba may have potential, I'd be okay with that. Is that too much to give up?
I just don't know that CP3 would come in and make us any better than what we already are. I mean, maybe we'd be a smidge better, but so it would be the 6th seed instead of the 7th seed?
Well, it's better than getting worse.
I guess that's true, but then we'd watch Mo Bamba go and just take off and become one of the best NBA big men in the league. Like we always do when we send people away.
That's going to happen anyway in 4 years when he leaves.
That's true.
Right now, starting point guard for the Magic, DJ Augustine, and then backup is Michael Carter-Williams. You have faith?
I mean, I don't have faith. I just don't know that getting rid of pieces for CP3. He just doesn't excite me, man.
All right. Well, let's get back to football.
If you would have said this like 6 years ago. Now, Loudbeard, I got to ask you this. I thought when you went to NBA, I thought you were going to go with this. 2K20 released their player ratings. LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard lead all basketball players with a 97 overall rating. Does LeBron James deserve a 97 rating?
Yeah, just from historical evidence, but for that season, maybe not. I don't know.
Do you think we'll see a 97 rating, a top 2 player next year for the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to expect out of LeBron, to be honest with you. This is kind of a season to show what he's made of and how the Lakers approach it. I've mentioned it in previous episodes, previous shows. We don't need LeBron out there 40-plus minutes every night. That's going to kill him. He's not going to be able to do it. He needs to slow his roll. He's in great shape, but he's at that point in his career where he needs to take care of his body a little bit better. The Spurs did such an amazing job with Tim Duncan over the years that really created longevity in his career. The Lakers need to look at that. Say, okay, let's not pull the 40-plus minutes and play him every night. Let's do the Kawhi Leonard approach, limit his minutes, and give him plenty of rest days. And I think you will get that same LeBron James like we had 3-4 years ago.
I see. Wonder if that's part of the game where you rest the player and they become a 97, but if you don't, then they become like an 85.
Oh, it's all about strategery. You got to do it in video games now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that the Madden came out with their player ratings too, and it looked like Mahomes was a 97. I think that's a little too early, premature, isn't it? Because
Nope.
he's not that
Nope.
good.
He should have been 99.
He should have been
Without a
99.
doubt. 99, without a doubt.
Some of the other controversy coming off of the ratings, I heard Aaron Rodgers wasn't considered a top 5 quarterback. I guess he should have played for the Redskins.
Definitely should have played for the Redskins. Now, Loudbeard, if EA had this thing where you can go into their studios and you could do like certain drills, and then they gave you a player rating, what do you think your player rating would be?
As far as me playing football, my player rating?
Yeah. Like if you went down and you did like a 40-yard dash, you did some tackle drills, you did some like shuttle drills, you did some catching drills, and you threw a football around a few times, and then whoever does their rating system, their scout team or whatever, scoutteamradio.com.
Shameless plug.
Whoever does that throws out a player rating for Loudbeard. And just so you know, the lowest player on there in the NFL, I think, is 48. And there's like a story attached to that. Let me look that up while you answer what you think your player rating would be.
How far in the negative can we go? Negative 12.5. That's exactly what my rating would be on Madden. I'm sure it wouldn't be too good. I don't know.
What would be the highest rating you have? So I don't know if you've ever played Madden, but it breaks it down to an overall rating, and then it'll go like throwing accuracy, throwing power, speed. So what would your rating be?
My throwing accuracy would be fair, but my arm strength, I don't think I can throw the ball like Patrick Mahomes can. So I would say that would be weak. Yeah, I don't know, man. Negative 12.5.7.
No, that's where I remember the story from Scott Kaiser and the guys. I was like, where did I hear that story? I feel like I heard it recently. That there's a guy who has a 48 rating, and I think they said you got to win the MVP with him on Madden in a season in order to win something.
Oh, like there's like a secret sauce. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Hey, what day is this Area 51 thing happening? I need to get my
September
tickets.
20th. September
Okay.
20th.
Okay,
Yeah.
we need to work on this because I'm still excited about it. I'll be honest.
I'm trying to get
I'm
people
thinking
at
about
work.
going.
Like, hey, you guys going?
Yeah, like the ones you don't like?
Oh, of course. They're
Yeah.
they're the ones that go towards the front. While I chill out in the back.
Yep. Oh, Chris America.
Well, Albert, that's it. That's the end of the show. That awkward silence means it's time to end the show.
Oh. That's what you get, Chris America.
Was that you
But-
looking for it?
No, I was going to bring up something, and I'm like, man, it'd take me too long to talk about it.
Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
I don't want to talk about it tomorrow. Or won't we? Or will we?